Hi, I'm Rob Green and I facilitate the family history group at Market Harbour and one in U3A. We meet the third Thursday morning of every month at the community centre in Bath Street, and generally we have between 25 and 30 people come to the group. We've been going for about 2.5 years, I think, since we first started, and we do quite a few things. I think one of the things we wanted to find out when we set the group up, there had previously been a family history group, and there were some members that come from that decided that they wanted to have a group that was like their previous group. And I'd been to other family history groups in the past and they all run in different ways, so we put out a questionnaire to potential members of the group to see what do people actually want, what experience do people have on family history, just to get an idea of who might come and what we do. And the results were quite interesting. There were some people that had got maybe 2-3 decades worth of researching family history and were very much into it, and there were quite a few complete beginners. But the one thing that came across very clearly in the group, which we hadn't expected, was that one thing people wanted to do was to chat to like-minded people and share stories. So when we set the group up, we said the first thing we ought to do is, because it's U3A, we really want to try and have all the speakers and all the information coming from our own members, rather than bring in outside speakers. The second thing we wanted to do was to make sure the group was more sociable than some other groups. And so we said, right, we'll have a talk each month, and then we'll set 20 minutes aside at least just for coffee and just free-for-all, let people chat. And that has really taken off. It's quite amazing now. I suspect if we had a month where we didn't actually have a speaker, people would just continue to talk the whole time. As it is, we've actually managed to have speakers from our own group or from other family history groups come in, so we've never had to pay for a speaker. And it's amazing just how people have come up after they've been speaking and said, wow, I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of work and quite nerve-wracking speaking to a group of about 30 people, but the experience was really good. And I've got a few people now who will be on their second, third or even fourth talks to it. But the other thing that we've done in the group is say, all right, it can be quite daunting speaking to a group of 30 for maybe 3/4 of an hour. We've had a few sessions where we've said, right, people can talk for maybe 5-10 minutes. Come up, you can talk with a laptop, a computer, have it on the screen, or you can just stand up and talk, or you can have an object and explain the object, anything like that. And we've done a couple of sessions where we've done that. We did one on military service. We've got some quite amazing things coming out of that. And I think next month, the idea is we'll sit in little groups. There's another departure from that, and you will talk to maybe 3 or 4 people in the group, and each of you bring an object and explain why that object is important. So, going back to the family history, if you don't know what family history is, there are different definitions. There's the sort of old-fashioned formal genealogy, and I sort of relate that to finding dead people. Once you've found the dead people and you've noted down when they were born, maybe when they were baptised, when they got married, how many children they had, when they died, you can get a huge tree. And some people never get beyond that. They can carry on tracking their ancestors back through sometimes 15th, 16th century even, if you find a gateway ancestor. Other people will get so far and find it's almost impossible to find the information. But the thing that encourages me most about it is if you just get these people, I regard that as a sort of skeleton. And on that you can say, well, why did they get married? Why did they live there? Why did they emigrate to this country? And you then start looking into the social history and you find out what events were going on at that time where they lived. Was there a famine in the area? You know, in Leicestershire, it was big cattle country, lots of farms, but and the shoe industry in Northampton. There was a time when that wasn't being very productive and lots of farms went out of business and people changed. My own ancestry is based in the north of Scotland, There were the Highland clearances, lots of people emigrated, there was starvation, and then the herring industry took off and things changed dramatically. So part of the interest in family history is actually looking at why these people did what they did, where they moved to, why they moved. There's always something new to find out. So if you're interested in family history and you want to join the group, have a look on the U3A website. You'll find the group information there. It tells you when we meet, where we meet. And then either phone myself or one of the members, or just turn up. As long as you're a member of the U3A, come and sit in the meeting. If you enjoy it, you'll be made welcome. I think it's about £5 we charge normally for every 6 months. As long as our speakers come from our own group, that's all we'll be charging. If we end up having to get speakers in, then that will go up considerably.